so now it's actually pizza time. I'm going to be making a flatbread, no sauce pizza. It's going to be mozzarella, arugula, and prosciutto. For your ingredients, you're going to need mozzarella, arugula, prosciutto, and some pizza dough. And you're gonna need an onion, not all of it, and some garlic. You could, of course, freshly grate it or buy it granulated, so minced garlic. So those are gonna be your main ingredients to make this flatbread pizza. So let's get started. I actually want to preheat the oven also. Let's see, bake. And I'm gonna do it to 400 just so that it cooks quicker. So we'll preheat. Okay, so you are actually gonna need some flour, of course, to roll out the dough. I mean, that's just generally speaking. So you're just going to put on your cutting board some flour. This will get a little bit messy, so be careful. Gonna cut open the dough, get some flour on it so that it's not so sticky. And you're gonna roll it out as flat as you possibly can. Okay, so after rolling it out as thin as you can, you want to keep stretching it so that it is a square, because that's what we're going to be making it into, like a square. Okay, so you're going to actually need a pan, a flat pan here, baking sheet, and then I lined it with foil and used some vegetable oil, non-stick, just so that it's not very sticky when I take your dough and mold it in to the actual pan, the cookie sheet. You're gonna poke some holes so that it doesn't flatten or puff up, because it is a flatbread. Okay. Now I'm gonna spray the bottom again with some oil. And then we are going to put the bottom toppings on. Okay, so we are at 400 degrees, and I'm going to pop this into the oven. Shove it way in the back there. And we will set the timer for about 5 minutes and check on it. So it's been about 5 minutes, and it's looking really good. It is getting kind of puffed up and crisp, so I'm going to take it out. I am now going to add the cheese. Okay, so now it's kind of crispy, or actually it's still bubbling, and it looks like the onions are getting pretty crisp, so I'm going to go ahead and add the cheese. Sprinkle it all over. Since you're not using a sauce, the onions and the garlic just make it taste so good. If you don't really actually use any kind of flavoring, it's just cheese and dough and whatever you put on top of it. So it's more of an Italian or, you know, special way that you want to make it. You could do it anything you want. So that should be plenty of cheese, just enough to coat it. You don't need to pile it on or anything like that. And back in the oven until the cheese is all melted. So while the cheese is melting, I'm going to cut up the prosciutto. I mean, you could probably just tear it by hand and stick it on the pizza, but I'm just going to unslice it and do it into some chunks here. And I like that they are individually peelable because they are hard to get apart because it's so thin. And this crisps up very nicely like a ham, you know, so you could use ham, you don't have to use this. It's just a fancier ingredient, I guess, so totally up to you. Use this and just kind of chop it up. Add a little bit more, and then you just break it apart when you're ready to put it onto the pizza. Shush. You're not getting any of this. Okay. So we'll break that up when we get up on the pizza. Okay, so the pizza hasn't even been in for like, what, like 4 minutes maybe, just when I was breaking up the bruschetta. It is very melty. And I want to now add my prosciutto. This is a few step process because you don't want to add everything on together because the prosciutto will get very crispy and you don't want that. You want it to still be nice and soft. So just spread it around and then you're going to put it back in just for a little bit longer. Okay, so back into the oven for just a few more minutes. Alright, so it is done. It's been about like 10-15 minutes and you can tell from the cheese it's getting just a tiny bit of brown. You don't want to go too crazy because then your crust is going to get too crispy. And then I'm going to let it cool off and then we'll cut it up. Okay, so now that your pizza has cooled, you can go ahead and cut it in slices. And then you want to add some arugula on top. And it's ready to serve. So good. It was really good. Alright, so if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!